Finish him!
Hello Geeky Goss's viewers, and welcome once again to another episode of Video Game Movie Madness with your hosts, the Ginger Geek and
Big G Jamie. Hey guys, how you doing?
So in the last episode we covered our first good film, would you say, in this series?
I think, yeah, objectively, a good film. Like, not great, not anything hugely special, but good, enjoyable.
Yeah, and if you were a Street Fighter fan, it did go into the realm of great.
Yeah.
Could we have our second? Well, I personally think so.
I mean, I was going to say, we're going into this.
I'm going into this.
I have no idea, but...
we're still in the realm of fighters. We're moving on to the 1995 release?
I believe
1995 release. Mortal Kombat. Paul W.S. Anderson's debut, obviously, who goes on to do Resident Evil, probably his most famous series.
So we'll be seeing him later.
Yes, we will be seeing him later. But for now, let's start with his best work. And
Well, I mean, we start
Mortal Kombat.
We start off strong with literally
strong.
The first two words being screamed at us are Mortal Kombat,
which is just brilliant, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a kid, I got somewhat obsessed with Mortal Kombat, like super obsessed. Like collected the toys, read fan comics online. I've got like this Sub-Zero Action Man that's really plasticky and it's total junk, and I still have it on display in my house to this day. So big Mortal Kombat fan. As a kid, seeing this, just the fire and the dragon logo and the title going, could not have been more hyped. Oh my god, just joyous. Perfect opening. Like, I realise it's just the title wipe, but perfect opening.
It definitely sets the sort of tone that you're in for. Very, very much. Well, I mean, like the whole film has a good understanding of what Mortal Kombat is, to a degree. I mean, it's not an R-rated film. You don't see like the blood and fatalities and stuff. But I mean, you know, if you can deal with that, like, it does set a tone and sets a good atmosphere. I mean, and it starts with like a kid being crippled and murdered. So I mean, you've got
for a 12, it's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Like it pushes its PG-13.
I mean, we'll play some of the like the opening scene is, you know, two characters, essentially an old man beating a child to death. You later learn these characters, but for now, like, just play a little bit of this so you can hear the bone-shattering noises. Like, there are crunching noises. Like, just take a listen. Like, it's really... like, that's a child getting his back broken violently in the first, like, 40 seconds.
So, you know, it pushes its PG-13 limit. It does what it's best. I mean, obviously, you can see the studios are always going to push for a PG-13. It's always going to be, you know, hit as big an audience as you can. And that's why Mortal Kombat is unfortunately rated 12 when, you know, obviously the game's famous for violence. In fact, so famous for violence, they basically created, as an outcry from their controversy, the classification systems that we now still have today.
But don't worry for this, because it was all a dream. Ooh.
I think that might have actually been how they get away with it. If the kid had actually died, the kid does die, but it actually died in that brutal scene. Yeah.
So we are here introduced to Liu Kang, main protagonist of the movie. He's clearly having a rough time, dreaming of who we later learn is his younger brother, who has died, and we later learn that the old man there killing him was
Shang Tsung.
Yeah, Shang.
Shang Tsung. Just picture it like you're saying in the games. You know, Shang Tsung wins.
Chang.
That's Chang. Chang with an S sound. Shang, like shank.
TS.
You even got the letters wrong.
No, I didn't.
You did. You said TS. You said them backwards.
Yeah. That's what he's known to his friends.
You best buds with them, like.
So ST murders LK's little brother.
We're doing this just to give you some legitimacy the whole way through.
I'm doing it.
JC later on.
Yeah. SB. Yeah. SB best friends with J. In any regard, Liu Kang here.
He gets a letter, which is the most informal way.
It is the funniest thing ever. Just we'll put a freeze frame of it now. Brother dead, return home, grandfather. Like, I don't know what
it's like. Yeah. Wow, amazing. They just really wanted to advance the plot with no expense paid on emotion. It's
really break the news softly.
It's like getting that like on a like memo on your office. You know, like a sticky note on your monitor. Just like fax returns, check JC accounts, by way, brother dead, go home.
Yeah, I don't know what is like. We learn later. We're introduced to Liu Kang's father, but at the moment we have his grandfather, and we have no idea what he is at the moment. But like, there is a part of me when I saw this was like, I really hope he's a doctor.
Yeah. No, if it was a doctor, you wouldn't be able to read it because it'd be terrible handwriting.
That's a good point. In any regard, we cut from Liu Kang dealing with his brother's death to a completely different movie.
Yeah, 100%.
We go to Hong Kong.
Tonal switches again in these films. They're just they're brutal, aren't they?
We're introduced to Sonya and Jax, who are on a mission to get Kano, who apparently has his base next to an underground bar where there's a heavy metal band playing. Yes, we see them rush through the crowd, desperate to get to Kano. We see Kano. We got a first Kano looks the part, but like I don't think the prosthetics aged very well. There's times where it looks a little bit silly. Yeah, it's not the best, but they've gone to a sort of a minimalist approach because in the game, it covers a good like more of half of his face.
It depends on which one you're playing,
I suppose. But this was
I like
this
it.
was Mortal Kombat 1 and 2.
I loved it at the time. I only like it now, but I did love it.
Yeah, it's not aged the best, but you can say that for a lot of things about this film. But it does its job. He's Kano.
Immediately.
Immediately,
if you know Mortal Kombat, you know he's Kano.
Yeah.
One thing I will say is the advantage this has over the Street Fighter animated movie. You do not need to know Mortal Kombat going into the film. The film functions on its own without that. Like every character is introduced. Every character has their story. Within the contained narrative of the movie, it's not just like, oh, he has a sumo fighting an Indian because
that's fair. It does do that. In fact, although it does occasionally do that to its detriment, in this scene particularly, there's a quite hilarious bit where, in really clunky dialogue, Kano just name drops ST. Genuinely
doing the initials thing.
Yep. For everybody. No, actually, just for ST.
Are you really doing this, Jeff?
He's yes, DR. Yes, I am. I'll stop at some point when it gets bored to me. But for now, there's like, he turns dramatically to sort of face the camera so you can see half his face and you know that he's Kano, and then just sort of really clunkily name drops ST, who then in turn really clunkily go, Kano's like, are you sure Sonya's going to follow me, and it's, the response is just, well, yes, you killed her partner after all.
That's proper like Big Hero 6 style exposition. Great movie, but there's that line at the start where it's just like, what would mom say? Well, she's not around. She died when I was 2, remember? It's like, and he's saying it to his brother. It's like, of course he remembers. He remembers better than you. He was alive and old enough to have to deal with that.
Yeah, it's so, unfortunately, there's a bit of clunk in the dialogue, but we'll point out some of the more hilarious aspects of that as we go through. So Kano escapes, bar having a warning that says he doesn't want Sonya harmed, which is interesting, but will come into play later. We see Sonya making her way through the base and comes across a guard who is probably the stupidest guard in the world, because they're about 5 feet away and he runs to the point where Sonya has a really easy shot on him and then turns his Uzi sideways.
Man, he's not stupid, he's gangster.
Clearly he has not seen that episode of Mythbusters where they
No,
just reduces the accuracy.
That was proven it was wrong. It makes you aim better.
Aim better, does it?
All good gangsters know that.
Oh wow, okay. Well, this
Johnny
guy...
Gat told us so.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That's fair. I can't argue with Johnny Gat. He would kick the shit out of me. There's a bit of I say a bit of an interrogation queen. Sonya just gets her best Batman face on. And, where's Kano?
Then we're introduced to my favourite character.
And then we get the slow reveal of
do you know what? It's really
Cage.
well shot. A lot of this sometimes, like not always, but when it's good, it has its moments. It knows how to do character entrances. And like the hero pose and all that. Like Johnny Cage when he comes through and them split doors, that like narrow slot that reveals him looks lush with the silhouette. Oh, it's great.
But also to continue a gag from Sonya, we cut to a completely different movie, and in this case, literally a completely different movie. So we see.
Hang on. Oh. Videogame Movie Madness would not be complete if we didn't question if the Daily Mail described this movie, not Mortal Kombat, this movie, because this counts.
Within the movie.
Yes, if the Daily Mail described the movie within Mortal Kombat, how would the Daily Mail describe the movie?
Oh, I wasn't expecting this. Right, okay, so it's a 4-on-1 brawl. Johnny Cage deals with everybody. Right, okay, so Star Wars.
Obviously,
because they're
all stormtroopers.
Yeah, because they're stormtroopers.
They're paper people.
Yeah, they're just there to get beaten up. They'd say it was like Mortal Kombat because Johnny Cage is the main character.
I'll let you have it. A little bit cheating.
How am I supposed to? You've given me.
I could do it.
Yeah, but that's because you offered this as an example, so of course you had an idea.
I totally didn't, but I've developed one now. In the time that you struggled, so that I can look better than you.
Oh, you're a prick. Well, you go then.
Reservoir Dogs.
I'll bow out. What?
They're all wearing suits.
Oh my god!
It counts.
Oh yeah. But my Mortal Kombat one was a stretch.
Well, it was. However,
they're all wearing suits.
No, because that's like being 51st State. That's like Pulp Fiction because Samuel L. Jackson's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is as much of a connection. That's as much of a connection as Reservoir Dogs and Suits, I suppose.
Okay, Reservoir Dogs, though. And the other two you got?
Well, Mortal Kombat.
You just
No, right. If you weren't prepared to offer Reservoir Dogs, that's on you. I was going to say Mortal Kombat and Star Wars.
Were you? So stop arguing against Mortal Kombat if you were going to use it.
Well, I'm humble enough to acknowledge when it's a stretch.
Fuck you. Anyway, we have the
reveal that it's a film because you assume by this point it's all serious.
Yeah, but Cage has a very fun line of "This is the part where you fall down," and one of the stuntmen just jumps on the floor.
Yeah.
It's all right introduction. It sets the scene very well, but the fight itself is quite bad.
Cage is well acted though.
Yeah,
Cage is perfect. Cage
is spot on, but the entire
Spielberg cameo as
well.
Yeah.
Well, what was supposed to be a Spielberg
cameo, so they get a guy who looks like Spielberg.
Yeah. Unfortunately, scheduling issues meant that Steven Spielberg couldn't cameo there, even though he was planned to. He actively wanted to.
Yeah. No, Johnny Cage is great though. Like I love his bit where he's like, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm going to go to my trailer. I'm going to put a gun in my mouth and shoot myself. It's just like, it's proper like diva tantrum, but like still kind of serious and like cool. It's perfect, Johnny Cage.
That is continued where we find out that somebody is on the set for this movie who we learn is Johnny Cage's master. Taught him martial arts. Now Johnny has a problem where the media thinks he's a fake. They don't think he can fight. Like he's been faking it all the time. Yes, exactly. So Johnny's on sort of a mission to prove them wrong.
It's still real to him, damn it.
Yeah. They're on a mission to prove them all wrong. So Johnny's master here offers him a chance. He goes, I know of a tournament, the best in the world, called Mortal Kombat. You go there, you win it. They'll spread your legend far and wide that you were the best martial artist on the earth.
Yeah.
And Johnny accepts. So you have Johnny's motivation going forward here. His ego. You've had.
He's CM Punk.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's got to go to UFC to prove he can fight.
Exactly. So that is right there, and the four of you there understand that. We love you. Yes, we have Johnny's motivation going forward here. His ego. We sort of had Sonya's before, sort of getting
the pursuit
of Kano, sort of revenge there. But just as we leave, and we'll get Liu Kang's next scene. But as Johnny's master leaves, we see that he's in fact ST in disguise.
fuck's
I know, I'm really just making it worse for myself, aren't I? Because I mean, I fucked up. And instead of
You can't now. You've got to
instead of admitting the fault and just learning to pronounce it correctly, I'm now committed to just saying ST, which every time just reminds everybody that I can't pronounce the names. Anyway,
so LK walks up to the temple.
LK walks up to the Shaolin Monastery, and despite
brother dead,
brother dead, see his grandfather. But yes, walks up to a Shaolin Monastery, despite what is presumably in China and what are presumably Shaolin monks studying like Shaolin Kung Fu, one of the oldest styles of Chinese martial arts. Everybody luckily speaks English.
It's handy that, isn't it?
It's good. Wouldn't really want to read subtitles. This is fun. This is. So yes, Liu Kang is a bit of a talk with his grandfather about his younger brother and how he died, and how Liu Kang wants to go to the Mortal Kombat tournament to kill ST and get revenge, and this is his motivation going forward.
The problem I have with this is like it's you know, it's fine, it's great plot and all that, but because it's just the plot of Enter the Dragon really, but it's too obvious when you put like, oh, a monk, I'm gonna go seek revenge, and the grandfather was like, no, not revenge, and he's like, yes, revenge. It's like, and by the end of it, he's gonna be like, no, revenge is wrong, but he's totally gonna actually get his revenge anyway, without the evilness of revenge being his motivator.
It's a little bit of like having its cake and eating it.
Because he gets to do what the revenge would have him do, kill Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get tainted by the idea of revenge, because he does it for world peace.
Sorry, by the way, spoilers. If you like, you know, the hero wins. I don't know if that's a spoiler. But,
sorry, guys.
Sorry if we ruined the movie.
It's a 12-8. Although, to be fair, Mortal Kombat Conquest TV series, because I'm literally that into Mortal Kombat, I watch a terrible TV series as well. Shao Kahn just fucking wins.
Oh, wow.
It's just the final episode. You just like, it's amazing. Because obviously you're just waiting for, you know, the good guys to win.
Yeah.
He just kills them, and then he spends the like last 5 minutes just on his throne, going through like all the characters, picking up like an artifact, and he's got like Kung Lao's hat. He's like, picks up Kung Lao's hat. He goes, Kung Lao, dead. Throws it down.
Wow.
Quan Chi, dead. Throws it down.
Huh.
And it's just him doing that with all of the heroes and villains.
Jesus,
the ending alone is totally like,
that's phenomenal.
Like, I'm not sure if it's good, but it's bold. I was not expecting that. Like, Katana has a throat slit. It's Kung Lao just
I'm sort of looking forward to whichever one of us edits this, because we get to see all of this.
And
if it's me, I've never seen that before.
I've got all the footage on. Bizarrely, again, because why not just slot in this random bit of trivia on a pirated DVD. However, the pirated DVD was a legal purchase I made in Woolworths, because we never got it over here. However, the bootleg was so popular it got a licensed release.
Wow. Damn, that's impressive.
So possibly that might not be the last episode, because we didn't get them all. I'd have to double check it, but it is called Final Conquest, and it is the last episode on the last disc.
Interesting.
Bizarrely, only place to get it, Australia, which censors all of Mortal Kombat games.
Australia, we hate violent video games.
Is the only place that got the Mortal Kombat TV series released on official DVD.
That's
because
a weird one.
And over here the full box set, obviously it's a knockoff, but it's a really well made knockoff, so it doesn't look like a knockoff. It doesn't include key episodes. So there's a massive Scorpion Sub-Zero arc, because obviously that's the fight you want to see. Not included in it.
Damn.
However, that one was officially released, but obviously then they discontinued the official releases. It's a really messy release.
Back in this movie, we have a bit of an argument between the what I can presume are the head Shaolin monks, since they're sitting at the top. And Liu
it's
Kang.
weird that Shaolin monks have like the kind of like
the
hierarchy.
Yeah. I don't know.
They're all equal and meditative. I mean, I suppose there's, you know, the Dalai Lama is kind of going to be above, but it is still
what I can presume are just like the people in charge. Like, you know, maybe there isn't a hierarchy, but you need somebody to lead, or otherwise it's chaos. So, you know, you have that, but have a bit of an argument where you know, Liu Kang is there saying, I want to enter this tournament, I want to get my revenge, and everybody's like, whoa, no, we're not doing it like that. And there's an amazing bit where Liu Kang very sort of sarcastically is like, oh right, yeah, we're not doing this just for revenge, you know, we are fighting for the fate of the world. And there's just a monk on the left who just has a reaction face of just, yes we are.
Yeah.
How
it's
dare
like
you?
sassy, oh
yeah,
oh,
it's just,
oh, Liu Kang,
yeah,
oh, you think you're going to say that?
He's just a little bit taken aback, just How dare you?
It's so sassy.
Yeah. So then
it's sassy Shaolin.
Yeah. So then, so much offense we'd had that the literal God of Thunder and no, not that one, but I would be okay with that. That'd be a fun movie if 4 turned up. But Raiden, based on the Japanese thunder god Raijin.
Not sure what to think about Raiden in this movie.
And Protector of the Earth Realms turns up just to insult Liu Kang for a bit.
Really not sure what to think about Raiden in this movie.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's just something off about him. Like, I never quite liked him.
He's a bit of a dick. Like,
his delivery of everything's really weird.
Yeah.
Like he's whispering, but also pulling his words back. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a really odd... He doesn't talk right.
Yeah, I get that. But, like, partially you could be... Maybe that's, like, artistic license with the fact that he is a god at this point. Like, he's not like... No, is he
like, I can understand
god
that,
or something?
Yeah, he's a lesser god.
Lesser god.
I can understand that he's wise and shit.
Yeah.
But it's like he's funky. He just like he's he's got like it's almost like, you know how Christopher Walken is totally weird in his delivery of everything, but he works. Yeah, this is like Christopher Walken if it didn't work.
Yeah, I can.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, like here's some clips. See if you can try and understand what we're trying to get across.
The great tournament was too much responsibility. Your sideshow freaks attacked my fighters. That is expressly forbidden before the tournament.
But all the monks bow their head in reverence because there's a literal god in front of them. Apart from Liu Kang, who's just, what do you guys think you're doing? This, in fact, I believe he refers to Raiden as just a beggar. What are you guys doing? He forces his grandfather to pick up, and his grandfather has a great line about, we're sorry, Raiden, take pity on him. He's gone to America and TV has enfeebled his mind. Because TV will do that to your kids, not YouTube though. YouTube's amazing.
Especially Videogame Movie Madness.
Yeah, that enhances the mind. But there's,
By the way, we also do game reviews.
Please check that out here. Great. Oh, now I was.
Now you're the shameless plug guy.
Damn it.
You dissed me for it.
I was against that in Double Dragon. Now I'm promoting it. Oh, God, I've been corrupted.
Modern film reviews too.
So Raiden gets in Lu's face a little bit. It feels really weird, actually, just as a quick aside, to just say, instead of saying Liu Kang, just to say Lu, because it just feels so... It feels just like... he's so...
Liu Kang sounds mystical.
Yeah.
Lu sounds like your plumber down the road.
Yeah, it feels just a quick aside. So I'm going to keep saying it because I don't feel like I need to keep saying Liu Kang. But every so often, if there's just a little pause after I say Lu, it's going to be weird.
I think Liu Kang's one of those names where you have to say
both.
Name.
Yeah,
like you know in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Stephen Stills.
Yeah.
It's like you always get Stephen Stills. Nobody calls him Stephen.
Yeah,
Stephen Stills.
That's a good point.
He's Liu Kang.
Raiden, gets in the face of Liu Kang a bit. It's like, you're going to hurt me. I'm just a simple beggar. So, Liu Kang ain't having none of that shit. So it's, yeah, that's right. Let's see how you beggar... he gets taken down. With a really basic throw, but Raiden's a badass because there's lightning sound effects as he does it. Yeah, that's right. And then his eyes glow a little. Yeah, that's right. God of Thunder, bitch.
Except God of Lightning, really.
Yeah, he's based on the Japanese God of Thunder, though. Liu Kang, runs off. Well, I don't need your approval, Raiden, and I don't need the consent of this order. I'm going to go into the Mortal Kombat tournament and avenge my brother anyway. And he strides off. And the monks part like the Red Sea. They're all wearing red. So now you have Liu Kang's motivation going forward. Revenge. And the stage has been set for Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. You gotta shout it like Mortal Kombat.
I just don't have the voice for it.
Best thing about that theme, so iconic, so amazing. Not once is it used in the games. It's considered the official theme of Mortal Kombat. It's never in the games.
Never. Like, is it not in the most recent ones?
Nah.
Wow.
Not at all. It's from the film. It's considered the official theme. Like Ed Boon, the designer of Mortal Kombat, considers it the official theme because the theme for the film was that good.
Wow.
It went platinum.
Yeah.
It went platinum.
Yeah, the soundtrack to this movie went platinum in 10 days.
It was a massive club hit. Because
club?
It was a big techno club hit.
I mean, it was amazing. I know I could rave to it, but I didn't think because this was like we say, this was 94, 95. So I didn't realize this. It was trance, like that's our music back then.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's
I mean, you
that's
still
cool.
occasionally on like a special occasion you'll hear it in the club now. I know I went out on Halloween with some dude dressed as Scorpion. So the DJ saw him blast Mortal Kombat on. It was a beautiful moment. Because then Sub-Zero came out of the crowd and I was 12 again.
They have a dance off.
They like did a dance off, but it was like miming a fight. It was awesome.
Okay, cool. So we cut to the pier, and a boat. You know, all the heroes are here, waiting for the boat to arrive so they can leave to the tournament. We are introduced to Art Lean. Who is
not a character from the games.
Who is not a character from the game. So
you know he's going to die. He's the red shirt of the show.
He's just nice enough so that you're sort of interested in him, but because he's not a game from a character, you guys know exactly what's going to happen to him. So Cage is racist for a bit and tells Liu Kang to put his bags on the boat. Liu Kang gives exactly 0 fucks, takes his money, throws his shit in the river, and then pisses off.
He deserves it though, to be fair.
Yeah, with a smile on his face. I'm quickly...
Yeah, do you know what? I like how Liu Kang isn't completely clean cut in this. Like, he grows into it.
Yeah,
I like that he's got that character, because like in the games he's always like pure monk.
Yeah,
like, he is straight up monk.
Yeah, he's a bit more. He's a bit more rugged.
More rounded.
Yeah, a bit more rounded character here. We see Sonya and Jax scoping out the place, looking for Kano. Then
Jax is barely in this movie.
Yeah,
isn't he?
No, this is the last we see of him.
Yeah, which is weird because then they make him a main character in the next one and give him a different character, give him a different actor.
But well, I mean, we'll get to the different characters when we get to it. And then the boat pulls up, and the boat is badass. I really like I love its design. The dragon head at the front, and I just find it really cool.
I don't know why, but it conjures an image of a fan comic I was reading. It might have been an official comic, I don't know. This is obviously, because I'm talking like real and youth, it's just this one panel where Shang Tsung is on that boat, and that's the reason it reminds us of it. And he's just talking to someone, and he's like, I collect souls. It started with Pokemon cards, but it was just a downhill spiral from there. It's just reminded us because the dragon, he was standing on the ship and he's talking to like Kano or something. He's got his head in his hands. He's like, oh.
Wow. Oh, God. If you can somehow dig that up.
If I can dig it up, I will. It was on literally on like, you know, like a really 90s Mortal Kombat fan page, you know, like the kind of free webs thing with like a chat room that nobody used and stuff like that. It was one of those websites.
Wow, okay, well, if you can somehow manage to
I'll try.
Find that from the dregs of the internet, please post it somewhere. We see Sonya see Kano get on the boat, so Sonya rushes off from Jax and runs onto the boat as well. The three heroes have a bit of a meeting bit, like Cage is flirty to Sonya. Sonya like is just driven. She's there being I'm after Kano. I've got no time for your shit. And Lou is still just kind of enjoyed it. Just a little bit of a sarcastic comment to Cage as they all have now been sort of introduced to each other. They end up below the main deck. As Sonya
still looking for Kano, isn't
she? Still looking for Kano, but instead of meeting Kano, Sonya runs into ST. Shang meets up. Well, not meets up. Like that suggested like that, but that Sonya ends up running into.
Arranged a date.
Yeah, but they ends up meeting up with Shang. Although quick aside, just before they end up meeting up together. As Sonya is sneaking away onto the the lower deck, she has this, I don't know why, but it just amused the hell out of me. She has this really kind of weird, hilarious, like knees bent, like arms stretched, the police.
More to me, it more reminded us of like she looked like she was doing the Resident Evil walk animation. Like literally, like you know, like. Going up, can move now. Aiming, can only aim left and right. Going up, can move again.
Yeah, it just amused me just to have it, just walk in, pose, look around, walk for a bit. Like if she was going to be ambushed, immediately pose, gun around again. So because the heroes are, you know, ultimately the good guys, Liu Kang and Cage, follow Sonya down to back her up. Sonya, you know, having none of it. So I don't need backup. fuck off. But then we are introduced to the baddies. We get
baddest.
Yes, we get Sub-Zero and Scorpion's entrance.
Slick as fuck.
Yeah, I mean it's a good use of slow-mo here as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It does like character entrances really well. The only problem I have with this movie, is not from an objective movie perspective, but from like a Mortal Kombat really cool fan perspective.
Yeah.
Sub-Zero and Scorpion are on the same side.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with them both being villains, but I want to see them fight ultimately.
Yeah. I can understand that. They are like I don't know about everybody else, but my first the images that are first conjured in my mind when I think Mortal Kombat are Sub-Zero and Scorpion fighting each other.
Well, it's literally the trailer for every game.
Yeah.
The next time when they announce a game, they show gameplay of Sub-Zero and Scorpion fighting. Because that's the fight.
Yeah.
That's the Ryu Ken of Mortal Kombat.
Although arguably it has only come from the later games, so this being only
there were mortal enemies in the originals, real, it's like in the lore and that all the endings, like when obviously in the olden games you only got like the little like static image, little bit of plot, but they were always referring to each other as like mortal enemies. They were always like, because I think I'm talking real obscure Mortal Kombat lore off the top of my head here, so apologies if I'm wrong, but I think the Lin Kuei, which Sub-Zero's clan is from, Sub-Zero's mentor was who became Noob Saibot, and he killed Scorpion's family. Scorpion still blames the Lin Kuei and sees Sub-Zero as its chief figure. So it's that kind of conflict. Okay. I believe. I might be wrong on that one.
If he is wrong, let us know in the comments.
Just throw it in.
No, but it would make sense. I have actually always wondered that. I've never known myself, but I've always been curious.
Noob Saibot is the original Sub-Zero.
Okay.
Again, I might be getting this wrong. I believe Noob Saibot's the original Sub-Zero.
Take all this with a grain of salt, then.
He was evil as shit. He gets killed, comes back as Noob Saibot. Sub-Zero, the second generation, takes his place. Yeah. Scorpion still sees him as the enemy rather than Noob.
This is going to be a fun edit. I'm looking forward to all the pictures that you're going to have to do for the timeline.
I should have shut up before. Now that I'm thinking I've done that.
So they both get a little bit of a badass introduction. Like Sub-Zero freezes the end of Sonya's gun and snaps it off. And like Scorpion gets a snake-like thing that appears from the slit in his palm instead of the spearhead that he's sort of like
I'd rather it was a spear, but like artistic license and whatnot.
Yeah,
it is, as long as something comes out of his hands and he says "get over here."
It's a loose adaptation, but it was a weird choice because like there's nothing that's inherent in this movie that it couldn't have just changed from like a spearhead, or they couldn't like done a quick rewrite to make it a spearhead. So it seems
there's no reason for it to be.
Yeah, but it's there, and it looks ridiculous because it's bad CGI, but it's. Had
it been released later, that might have looked cool, but just not.
Although speaking of sort of bad CGI and special effects, Raiden turns up in a like just bad electricity.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's like
it has not aged well.
It's like kid first finding the access to a pirated copy of like After Effects CS2.
Yeah, he sort of bitch slaps Scorpio and Sub-Zero around, and then there's a bit of a confrontation. We're safe here. You can't touch a hair on the head. What do you think you're doing? And it's just and then we also learn that where they're going, Outland, Raiden has no power. He's not going to be able to be Deus Ex Machina and save the heroes. And then what I find is the best, like the most hilarious scene and a continuation of Raiden being really unhelpful. He says, "Come on, guys, follow me," and then just disappears into lightning.
Yeah,
he just fucks off.
He's not great.
No. Although I will admit, if I could like travel with lightning, I would literally not travel anywhere
other way,
like even if it was just across the room, if the remote was just like a couple of centimeters out of reach, I would teleport.
Definitely,
I would transfer myself into lightning and just teleport there a bit.
It's like that scene in Jumper, not a great film, but you know when he just jumps to the fridge. The fridge jumps to the settee. I
would exactly be doing that with the lightning. So we get now the stakes of the movie. You know, we're about 20 minutes in. We have Raiden explain what Mortal Kombat is and why we should care. We learn that there's an emperor of another world, Outland, where they're going, that he wants to conquer Earth. But he can only conquer Earth, or there's some rule, essentially, that says he can only conquer different realms when his team has won 10 straight victories in Mortal Kombat. And they're currently at 9.
Yeah. Which to me always seemed unfair on the baddies. Because Earthrealm don't have to win... maybe Earthrealm would have to win 10 fights to conquer them.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because Earthrealm, to win, obviously, all they want is to be safe.
Yeah.
They only have to win 1. And then they have to win 10 in a year again.
I guess it's like the favor is always in the defender because the attacker wants to literally obliterate a realm.
Yeah, makes sense,
so maybe it's a bit of a... But there's so many questions from this.
Yeah. Why is the fate of the universe essentially boiled down to the World Cup with all the planets as a trophy?
Yeah. How did this start? Why can the Emperor not cross over into our realm from this thing?
I don't know. I can't remember if it explains it in this, but it's all gods. That's the basis.
I don't think it's ever explained in this one. Why it really is. Yeah, but there's loads of questions. Why 10 victories? Why 10 straight victories? Why a load of things?
Because at that point, I think it's like the Undertaker streak. It became official around about that time.
Yeah.
It's not a win until you've won 10 years in a row.
Yeah.
Then it's like, you know what? Maybe you deserve to conquer Earth.
Yeah,
You're clearly the superior species.
There's nobody... clearly, they've had 10... Also, how often are the tournaments held?
Once a year.
Once a year, okay, because I'm not sure if that's ever said. I might be wrong. But I don't know why it's only held once a year. Again, if there's rules or anything, or if the Emperor can't just be I fancy doing a tournament. Just get 10 fighters, and we'll just have 10 tournaments. They have 1 fighter each.
Yeah.
Okay, he's dead. They're 10. Awesome.
Yeah.
My world now.
Say all over the case of days.
Yeah, and apparently as well, Shang Tsung can just go to Earthrealm.
Because Shang Tsung's not a god.
Okay, that's there.
Shang Tsung.
But he's still a huge badass. So can't the Emperor just send off his huge badasses that aren't gods just to conquer worlds on his own, and then once people are crippled,
the gods would come down and stop them.
Right.
That's at least in Mortal Kombat actual law.
Right.
I know it doesn't mention this in this film, but the god would literally go, Shangy, what you doing?
So the gods wouldn't allow it. Is this universe as wizards did it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
100%.
Okay. That's Simpsons. If you guys don't know, we'll put a clip on. You know what? You should know it.
You don't get the clip.
How dare you?
You totally do, though.
Yeah, you get the clip. Here it is.
Next question.
Yes, over here. Right. Haven. In episode BF-12, you were battling barbarians while riding a winged Appaloosa. Yet in the very next scene, my dear, you're clearly atop a winged Arabian. Please to explain it.
Yeah. Well, whenever you notice something like that, a wizard did it.
I see. All right, yes. But in episode AG-4...
Wizard.
For Glaven out.
Anyway, Raiden's still a dick. There's a great bit as he's trying to explain the stakes, and he's like, I've envisioned that one of you three shall, be the decider. I believe the exact line is, billions will depend on you. Sorry. Literally, he laughs at them.
Yeah,
and then
this
says,
is what I mean about Raiden's weird delivery.
Yeah. Actually, here.
Fate of billions will depend upon you. Sorry.
It's weird. He's a strange one. It's
just odd.
It's an odd one. We're not entirely sure what to make of it, but I don't dislike it, but I don't like it.
No.
It doesn't really work, but it's not a huge detractor.
It's a weird it feels funny.
Yeah. Some funky ass Northern Lights happen, and they get transported into Outland. One thing that just a quick scene of Sonya being like, "Oh no, I can't get reception." It's like, "Oh, you're not in this realm anymore, so of course you can't go for help." Little thing that I like, just bunch of other people wandering around in the background as well, from loads of other. Well, either they were all on the same boat. And you just didn't see any of them.
Yeah. There's boats in the background.
Yeah, but they're the sort of rowboats that we've taken them from the main boat. So I don't know how many main boats they were.
They did all go on the one boat.
Yeah, in which case apparently that boat was really fucking big. Yeah. I skipped over a nice little bit of just Johnny being Johnny and just I've got too much luggage, sploosh.
Yeah.
And the luggage thing is sort of continued with, on the way up there, Johnny just like tripping over stairs and all of his luggage just falling down.
Just not something we pointed out. I mean, we mentioned it briefly before, but this movie has the same plot of as Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon. There's a video in the link. I really recommend you watch it. It's not anyone we're affiliated with, but it's a fantastic video. And Johnny Cage is like, it is so much Enter the Dragon to the point where Liu Kang, the protagonist, meets a spoiled American with too much luggage is a thing that happens in both of the films. Give it a watch. There's a link here. But it's well worth checking out. So anyways, we end up at obviously the palace which is all outworldy, and we know this because the statues of the Grim Reaper.
Love the set design though.
It is fun. It's
quite
cheesy
fun.
and tacky and
the problem is the blatant CGI. The statue that isn't a statue, that is blatant CGI that you really should have just spotted in that clip. But if you haven't, it's this scene. Can you figure out which one's CGI? Looks so ridiculous by comparison. Anyway, there's a woman.
Isn't it practical effects first though? The statue. It's practical effects and then turns to CGI. It is actually a statue.
I'm pretty sure that's CGI there.
I'm sure in the behind the scenes I've seen them like with that statue.
Is it? Because that doesn't look like a real thing to me.
It's got purple lighting on it. That's the thing that makes it look too cartoony. But I'm pretty sure it's a statue at that physical point. I'm certain.
Okay, that looks like just.
I might be wrong.
Me, I kind of. Well, I mean, in any regard, that does later turn to CGI, and we'll show you that part.
And that bit does look beyond bad.
So there's a woman just sitting around under a parasol. We later learn that this is Princess Katana.
Sexy Katana.
Yeah, she starts making eyes at Liu Kang because why wouldn't you? Liu Kang's hot.
My first crush was Katana actually.
Oh yeah.
Mortal Kombat Conquest Katana, no, not
not this
Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, we then get Shang wanders into the scene and tells Reptile, now it's CGI.
Yeah, you can see the difference when it's CGI.
I'm thinking the first one might have been a statue. Actually, I vastly underestimated how bad that CGI was. So Reptile scurries off invisible to keep an eye on our heroes.
Reptile really annoys me in this.
Yeah,
because there's no need for him to be CGI. He doesn't look like that in the games. I don't know why they chose to change him and make him look crap.
There's a bit later where he just looks like Reptile, and
which is what he should be.
And he has a badass fight. In this, he's just, I don't know why they did it either, but we have pre-tournament dinner.
As you do,
pre-tournament dinner. In fact, we have a little speech from Zhang.
You cannot say his name.
I know. I don't know what's going on with me. I've never had any trouble saying his name for all of my life that I've been.
Have you ever shanked a shark on the shores of Sugarlands? That's a word.
You got close.
Shanked a shark on the Shanked a shark named Shang.
I will attempt to any time that you're talking, viewers, listeners, just imagine me constantly under my breath repeating that phrase, and we'll see if it helps me next time. In any regard, he delivers a speech of that sort of welcome to the island, many of you will die, and then very rudely, and this would be the part that I'd be most annoying with, absolutely ruins dinner. It's like, we shall have some entertainment now, and then just the goons come in and just flip the table. Like, if I hadn't finished eating, I'd be pissed.
It's a weird idea of entertainment as well, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a weird one, because what the entertainment is that, like, it just Sub-Zero straight up murders a dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I was entertained.
Yeah.
But I didn't have my dinner ruined by it, so like my tea was fine. I was still eating my sandwich. You know what I mean?
Just.
I love how the guy as well that he murders is like, who doing all this kata, like, I'm gonna be class, and then he like commits to his own demise by jumping through the air.
Jumping into him. Yeah, it's actually, to me, reminiscent of that Indiana Jones gag.
Well, the one with the
sword,
the improvised one.
Yeah, the improvised one.
Because he was just tired and he couldn't be asked. He was meant to have a fight scene, but he just pretends to shoot him, and the guy went with it.
It very much reminds me of that. In fact, if the Daily Mail,
we haven't actually done it for Mortal Kombat.
The Daily Mail reviewed Mortal Kombat, the 3 movies, Enter the Dragon, because at this point, if you haven't watched that video, this movie is Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, it just is.
Yeah, Indiana Jones, because of that bit that I literally just said.
Yeah.
And Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because every movie is Star Wars. and we will, and again,
This does actually have Stormtrooper style goons as well.
they do. We'll see if
I feel they're going to all be guilty of Stormtrooper style goons. I think if we're going to try the Star Wars connection,
we shouldn't be allowed to do.
Although
this.
they do have monks, which is basically Jedi.
Yeah,
So that's going to be our connection from all of them.
If we can find any more, we'll let you know. We're going to try and find the parallels.
Right, and then
They follow. They all have a bit of an argument because they're all here for their own personal reasons. Which Sonya obviously wants to get to Kano.
Johnny Cage wants to be the greatest
Pokemon
master ever.
But and Liu Kang wants revenge. So obviously Liu Kang wants revenge, and the guy that murdered his little brother is literally there. So he immediately tries to follow him, and Sonya's like, right, well, he's the guy in charge. He knows where Kano is. I'm going to follow him as well.
And then Johnny Cage is
just
like,
oh,
well, if I kill him, I'm class.
Yeah. So they
bad CG.
Yeah, they wander. They get to a bridge with bad CG. Oh, we could have had Lord of the Rings. That could be Mines of Moria.
Like bad Mines of Moria. You get the shadow of Goro.
Yeah, we get the shadow of Goro.
I love Goro in this.
He is.
He's fantastic.
Oh,
Practical
he
effects.
design,
He's the reason Reptile shouldn't be in this movie, because Goro looks great, aged but great.
In fact,
just fun movie.
The literal next scene, we have Kano eating, talking to Goro, and we have our first look at him, and he looks
fantastic, phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you put him next to Reptile, and it's like, what?
Yeah, it's not
what
good.
is this nonsense?
It's really do like the design of that. It's a fun bit where Kano realizes he's in way over his head. There's a scene here, but it's just bad guys being bad guys. Shang's. I got that right. I think that's right.
Yeah. And then you paused and stopped yourself.
I was like, God,
you're only
damn
committed.
It. Yeah. Anyway, so like I say, Kano and Goro are having a bit of a back and forth as Kano's trying to be like, I'm a badass as well.
I mean, you got 4 arms, but I only need 2 to kick your ass. Yeah,
I'm a bit. Yeah, I'm awesome. Please don't hurt me.
Except he's Australian, so it's more like.
I'm gonna. Here we go. Please.
I'm trying to think of a phrase that you would say.
Take the pressure off me. Yeah, I've been racist too many times in this.
So it's more like, I'll fuck up your kangaroo. That wasn't even remotely Australian. I just put the word kangaroo in it.
Yeah. Wonderful bit of trivia actually about this. The actor that plays Kano isn't Australian. Born and bred in England. He just does a really good Australian accent.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, and in auditioning, just said he was Australian.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, it was only like considerably later where the filmmakers were like, "Are you not Australian?" It's like, "No." It's like, "But you said you were." I was like, "Yeah, I did." But like I said, and now the pressure's on again. Shang Tsung.
Son, you
close.
You got the first name right.
Walks back in. I will get this by the end of. I don't know why it's so. But he walks back in, has a bit of a talk between all of them, and warns them both really of Princess Katana, because he suspects that she might betray them. And there is a phenomenal bit of clunky ass expositional dialogue that goes. You have to be careful. Princess Katana. And then Goro turns around and goes, "The Emperor's adopted daughter?" It's amazing. Like, I want it for all the characters. I want every introduction to be that way.
Is it like I don't know.
Just like, Liu Kang, the former Shaolin monk whose brother died and he's here for revenge.
You want to do it even like more like specific than that. Like like Big Dave. You mean cousin of Steve who lives in Lumley Terrace? It's Lord of the Rings and everyone's son of this, but without the lore to explain why people say that.
It's an amazing bit of clunky ass dialogue, but.
The dialogue is very clunky.
Yeah, the dialogue's not the best in this, but you don't.
But it's one-liners. It's one-liners are gold.
Yeah,
it's got some really like the dialogue for the most part clunky, but where it counts, the dialogue's just like yeah.
So Liu Kang, so they escape, because at this point the heroes have been looking at all of this and watching, and they sort of escape.
This is where Liu Kang has the fight with Reptile in it.
Not a fight. Essentially, Reptile just spits in his face and then scurries away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So but Liu Kang sees Katana and follows her because at this point Liu Kang trusting of Katana and gets attacked by Reptile. Although apparently at this Reptile like just spits in his face, and I mean like normal saliva spit because there are no ill effects outside of just ew. Oh god, I'm gonna need a shower.
Which is more annoying because like Reptile's like acidy and melting, and
it's like nothing happens. Like I was almost thought
he looks like it hits him as well. He looks like
he
it's
keeps
like
playing with his eyes. Like,
but then he's fine.
Yeah, like there was a part of me that was just like, are they gonna make him like blind for the rest of the movie or something? Ooh, this could be. Oh no, he's fine. Like literally,
like Liu Kang just suddenly is Kenji. Like they just change his character halfway through. It's like they just start referring to him as Kenji.
Yeah, but Johnny Cage is then like, you know what? I know where Katana went. It's this way. And obviously Liu Kang's like, how do you know? I can smell a perfume.
Not creepy.
But they just enter a room, and it's just an empty room. And this has my favorite music cue of the entire movie. They enter the room.
I would say it's my favorite music cue in the entire world.
Okay, that might be right as well. In fact, actually, we'll just let it play. Just amazing. Just
how instant it is.
Just silence, and then suddenly enemies and Mortal Kombat. So
I feel like every movie should like announce we're fight by shouting the title of Inception.
It's like some movies, steadily ramp up to that fight. The breaking scene. Not this movie. Just nothing's really happening. Fight time.
Yeah, it'd be class because it'd be class if like all movies did that, because then you get the movies that have like a couple of fight scenes in, but aren't fight movies.
Yeah.
So it's just like oh Jack, I'll never let go, Jack. Titanic.
Be amazing. And then not exactly a fight scene. It's just like a few seconds of each character like doing a kick or a punch or a throw to one of the goons. And actually, at this point, this was the point where I was just like, I need to look into these characters. Yep, Liu Kang's the only one that has outside martial
it's
art.
always the case. There's always
this
one of them is really got good martial arts skills, and everybody else is an actress.
Cage and Sonya's actors were trained specifically for this movie.
I've got a bit of trivia about Sonya.
Oh, sweet.
Original actress. Who was it? It was someone really, really... I think it was Cameron Diaz.
Yes, I heard that.
Yes, it was. I've just remembered there because I thought, and the original actress didn't have kung fu treatment as well. Oh, who was it? Yeah, Cameron Diaz was originally supposed to be Sonya Blade.
I believe in the lead up to it, she ended up breaking a wrist or something similar and couldn't end up doing it.
That was the only reason.
Yeah,
kind of glad to be honest.
I quite like this actress. This Sonya Blade.
I like that. I don't recognise her.
Yeah, I quite like that.
If I saw a film and Cameron Diaz was playing Sonya Blade, I'd be like, that's not Sonya Blade, that's Cameron Diaz.
Yeah. She's more notable. The actor's more. You can't see through like the actor to the character. You just see the actor.
I find that with all celebrities, unless like it's a character they are iconic for. Arnold Schwarzenegger in any film other than Terminator, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator, that's a Terminator. It's the same sort of thing as that. Like Cameron Diaz. Never mind, she's just Cameron Diaz.
Yeah,
I was going to say Cameron Diaz in any film.
No,
Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz and Charlie's in, still Cameron Diaz.
Yeah. So Raiden turns up and it's just, well, you guys did good there. What are you going to do about these guys? And then suddenly there's like a full squadron of heavily armed goons that have just managed to sneak up on them. But then, Raiden's still just, nah, you ain't fighting them. You know these are rules of Mortal Kombat. Don't make me go full god on your ass.
Cage is good here,
so
though, where he's leaving. He's like, aye, you've been warned. just stand down, Sonny Jim.
It's quite fun. But now is essentially when
basically a tournament. There's a little bit of exposition. Basically, this is the point where the tournament actually starts, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Like there's a bit of conversation between the four people, but it's largely irrelevant. This is now where this is a tournament start. This is the important part,
which is the boy, obviously.
Yeah. So you're
some of the best scenes of the film.
Yeah, kicking it off with Liu Kang versus goon number 29. So
they could have put him against
all bets on. Who's going to win? Who's going to win, guys?
It really annoys us that they didn't just put another character in there. Like you've got a C. I understand, it's almost like a kayfabe thing. You can't have Liu Kang just easily beat, who's not in this movie as a Mortal Kombat. Well, Kenji, for example. I know he wasn't around at that point.
Who's one of the other? Ermac?
Ermac, Rain, maybe. I'm trying to pinpoint when it was released because it depends. Like Mortal Kombat 3 is where a lot of them.
Good point.
Cyrax. Mortal Kombat 2 was being out at this point. If that was just Cyrax, I mean, yeah, it's a robot.
Well, probably.
But like, you can't really just have it. You can't just really have him like just beat him like really easily and all that. But at the same time, it's like you've got a roster of people like really iconic, all varied and like interesting to look at with unique character designs, and you stick them against a guy. Yeah. Like,
I mean, to take nothing away from the fight, like
it's good. It's pretty good.
Both guys can clearly handle themselves in the martial arts. It's a solid stick work by both of them. Like, they're clearly good. It does the martial arts camera work and editing trick that I love of letting them actually fucking fight.
Yeah, because it doesn't just cut every 3 seconds.
Like there's a really annoying habit that a lot of American martial arts movies have of, you know, the actors not being the most proficient at martial arts, so they have to cut. Yeah. It's the difference between like a Jackie Chan action scene it went in his native country or a Jackie Chan action scene in America. Yeah, like it's, you know, it's a
next door.
Yeah, it's the difference. Tuxedo. Yeah, it's the difference between seeing one in Tuxedo or seeing one in, you know, The Drunken Master.
Yeah, like I mean, this cuts a fair bit, but nothing like what it normally does. Like, this is surprising for Hollywood.
But it's a good fight, and Liu Kang ends the fight with a goddamn front dropkick, which
is pretty cool as well.
And then like
how he
flips
ups into it as well.
Then we see the truce stakes. As we hear our first like great one-liner. Well, not one of the great first liner.
Is this the "Your soul is mine"?
Yeah. And then fatality.
Oh yeah.
Also, just as an aside, the actor here who plays. Wait for it. I'm building up suspense. Still building. Building a bit more.
I'm on the edge of my seat here. Like, I'm like, do not take my silence for passiveness.
ST.
I fell for that.
Wow, I can't believe that worked. He plays him. Who I'm going to attempt. Like, this is even worse than me trying to say his character's name. It's his actual name. I'm going to try not to butcher this. Although I will, so I do apologise. I believe it is pronounced, and if I'm wrong, like, please go to Wikipedia, get his name, and put in the comments how you actually pronounce this. But I believe his name is CARY, HIROYUKI Tagawa.
That sounds like it could be correct.
It could be correct in any regard. Like, great story about him auditioning for this. He was the first and only choice because he came to the audition in full costume and read his lines while standing on a chair.
What a dude.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
He is my favourite thing about the movie.
That's brilliant. Like, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Much sort of like the street.
Was he a big Mortal Kombat fan then to come in full costume?
There isn't like,
or was it just
like
a full costume like I am going to dress as a warlock and show up? Like, or did he actually dress Shang Tsung?
Unfortunately don't know. I really hope it's like he was just a massive fan of the games and just had a costume.
He stood on the chair.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I know. It's
that's beautiful.
It's so good. Like, he's my favourite character in the movie. Like, he's.
I want that audition footage.
I know, right? Like, I'm sad it's not like on behind the scenes. Like, like it's not like a DVD extra or something.
Right, that'd be great.
It's such a fantastic image. But next we get
it's Sonya Kano.
Sonya Kano, that's right.
Yeah. Bit of a preemptive strike almost sticking them in the first round. You could have, like, you know, Cage gets Goro and Scorpion like later.
Yeah,
you could have had her be, you know, Sonya Kano, because if I'm right, am I right in thinking she kills him in this? Yeah. Again, like,
you sort of you've gotten her like arc almost out the way, but that's of almost a like a problem. There's like, which I have with the movie, of like, there's two different Sonyas in this movie. There's a Sonya in the first half and there's a Sonya in the second half.
Yeah, like, the first half's badass. Second half's like weird damsel in distress.
Yeah, like we'll point out those scenes when they get to it, but it's a weird, really dichotomy that they just like completely change a character halfway through the movie.
Like, Sonya's such a badass in the first half that when she actually does fight Kano, she doesn't. It's not even a fair fight. Like, it's not even balanced. She kicks his ass. Well, he's barely gets any offense in.
There's a little back and forth.
Yeah, like, but like, he has a knife as well, and she still beats him.
Yeah. Like, he you know, it's a sort of basic brawl kind of choreography, but It's over.
It's 75-20. Yeah, 25.
It's over relatively quickly, and then she just snaps his neck with a. Actually, there's a bit where it's like really, really sad. Like she does this, and then the wrestling mark in me is just like Hurricane Rana. Oh no, she doesn't. It's very sad for me. I know. I know which bit you're on about, but then she just it's even quite brutal because Kano's begging, and she just snaps.
She's just like, nah,
nope,
fuck you, Kano.
Yeah,
you killed me, partner. Give him a big smile on his mouth, like, nah.
Yeah.
He's again pushing it to PG-13. He's begging. He's like spitting.
I mean,
she's just like.
she does it off screen. You just hear the crack, but like that's know, it's pretty implied. And then you see his you see his corpse like thing that. Yeah, but it's like I say, decent fight, and it progresses into the best scene in the movie.
Yes, I love it so much.
This is. Now
I know
Scorpion.
you don't like the forest scene. That cart entrance again. Cart entrance. And as well as that, not sure, but it feels like it. Forest scene with the whole forest and the thing. It feels very much like a reference to the forest in the game. You know where all the trees can eat you and stuff. It's just that never-ending forest. I also really like the image of just a never-ending forest. Like there's obviously been some very simple trickery in the making of it. I mean, it almost looks like the mirrored sections of it, but. Forest going on as far as the eye can see. Johnny Cage stand between the splits of the two trees. Scorpion just coming into frame. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's a cool introduction. But
you're right. The CG hasn't aged well when he gets chased by the snake thing.
The CG hasn't aged well, and just I think the fact that it goes from this one thing that I will say very much in its favour. You get the immortal get over here. That's very cool. Like that is very cool.
I heard a mint your mama joke actually the other day.
Okay, go on.
It was your mama's so ugly. Scorpion says, "Stay over there."
God. I think my main problem with this, and it's unfortunate because it's like almost a retrospective sort of almost dislike of the scene, because I didn't have really any initial trouble with this. Like it was a bit goofy, and like part of me thinks that they made the instead of a spear, like a snake thing, just so that when they got this close combat scene, the spear would have died, so we couldn't technically use it like this. But maybe, but also like just because of what happens here now that like Scorpion.
You can't get names right today,
so
can
weird.
you?
Scorpion does his portal.
Takes him to the it's never rightly said, but I assumed it to be the Nether Realm.
Yeah,
although he does just walk out of it, so maybe not.
Maybe not. But he takes him there.
Welcome.
And then the fight.
When he says welcome in Scorpion. Oh,
the fight here is just so phenomenal. Like we're letting it play out, and it's just like you get this and. There's a part of me that's just like, why don't we start here? Why did I have to go through all of that? Why did I not get another 40 seconds of this fight? God fucking damn you. Like that might be what it is, and it being a little goofy, the CGI, but that might just be an age thing.
I think.
But yeah, I didn't particularly.
Don't get us wrong. I don't think the CG was particularly good at the time, but it would have been competent by the standards.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this was after Jurassic Park.
But you can't.
I know.
It's like Terminator 2 looks better than most movies today. You kind of take that as being them two films as being like the standard of the time.
Incredible, like close combat choreography here. It's done really well.
Great set. Lovely set
very
design. Visceral.
Once I was saying before as well, no quick editing. Everything is really smooth. No
shaky cam.
Yeah, no shaky cam. You can really quite fun as well. Like it's obvious if you're sort of looking for it, but it's like. First time I watched this, I still sort of believed, damn it, and didn't see the stuntman with some of it. Like I was just like I was enjoying the fight so much that my brain turned off from that sort of objective criticism of like he's doing a lot better in those scenes where I can't really see his face than when I can. I was gonna say I never noticed the stuntman, but like I'm completely Mortal Kombat just has my attention immediately. Yeah, there's like I say, you've seen all of this now. It's a brilliant thing. There's a weird, slightly contrived spot where Cage busts out some quite badass gymnastic skills to get to a raised platform, and because as Scorpio proves, having the high ground means jack shit. Scorpio again. God fucking damn it. But yeah, in any case, Scorpion proves that having the high ground means exactly jack shit and just knocks him off his raised fucking platform to what I'm seeing as a stage transition. That's how I'm interpreting this.
Yeah, actually, that's quite cool.
and then they fall to the floor. There's a lovely finish where Scorpion, yeah, I was saying it right that time, takes off his mask, revealing that it's just a skull, breathes fire, and apparently also bleeds fire.
Yeah.
And then there's a massive explosion.
Not sure about the bleeding fire,
but a massive explosion and a lovely little homage to the games with Johnny Cage's friendship fatality thrown down the
to my biggest fan.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because that assumes he's like got it on him for it to fall off him.
Like he's always got it.
The other thing as well, I liked he shields himself using what looks like Kung Lao's hat. Like it might not be because it's got the spike on top as well, but it's very, very similar in design. I didn't know if it was a little reference.
It might be a reference. I'd like to imagine it was, but overall, fantastic scene.
Yeah, best of the movie, I believe.
Cut to the next fight, and it's Liu Kang and Katana. Unfortunately, I do not think Katana was... Well, she wasn't particularly martial arts trained, so we get back to the annoyingly quick cuts, as there's very little martial art prowess going on here outside of Liu Kang. But it's essentially ends in a no contest.
The problem I have with the Mortal Kombat, the fights in this, apart from Johnny Cage's, all take place in very boring beach locations.
Yeah, that is a point. I think... Like I don't know off the top of my head, but I'd assume that was something because of production. But it is a shame that you couldn't.
Because again, the environments are almost as iconic as the characters.
Yeah.
The pit. Although we do get reference to that later. Like obviously the forest of the trees. Like you get a hint of that in Scorpion's thing, but it's like that's again.
The problem is as well. Actually, now you've pointed this out, is that apart from the fight scenes, the sets are on point.
Like
you've already seen some of them. You know, the pre-match, the pre-tournament meal. Like that whole set was brilliant.
The first
introduction
level of cheesy.
Yeah.
Like it's just great fun stuff.
Yeah, but Katana essentially just uses this fight as an excuse to help Liu Kang in his next fight. By saying just some annoyingly cryptic advice, which was use the element that brings life.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate it.
You know, like this proves how immature I am. You know what my first thought was when she said that? I didn't know sperm was on the periodic table of the elements. I missed that update. That's how immature I am.
You were that child.
I know. There's a weird scene where, like, well, I suppose it makes sense in context for the rest of the fight, but Raiden's around being sneaky, just leaving buckets of water places, and then we have Sub-Zero Liu Kang.
Yeah.
Which is a great fight, filled with just so much flippy shit. It's great.
Yeah.
Sub-Zero is just darting about all over the place. It's hilarious. He takes every opportunity to just do a flip.
Sub-Zero and Scorpion are the best sort of fan service in this film.
Yeah. I
like Shang Tsung's great and Liu Kang's fun, but like Sub-Zero and Scorpion are Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Yeah, they're brilliant in
nothing
this.
else to them.
They have a bit of back and forth, and then Sub-Zero is just like, you know what, this fight's been a bit more 50-50 than I was expecting. What's that I have? Oh yeah, I have magical ice powers.
Yeah.
So fuck you, Liu Kang. I'm gonna use my magical ice powers. So he starts like making an ice sort of bubble around him. Liu Kang gets knocked back by it because it's presumably like liquid nitrogen. Is that the really cold one?
That's when you like can instantly freeze things.
So it's like presumably like that sort of cold because just some of the air around the bubble hit him and he just freaks out and spills a bucket of water that, remember earlier, Raiden left there. And then Katana's like conveniently just there. Who's the element that brings life? And then Liu Kang's just water. Brings life, water.
I guess so.
I mean, I guess for some sort, but like to humans, that I can drown you in water. That's
yes.
It's like it'll end life for me. But it's a pretty cool scene where like Sub-Zero gets his death scene is that he gets impaled on a spike of ice
once again, pushing the PG-13
and dies as he lived as a bobblehead enthusiast. But yes, unfortunately, that is Sub-Zero and Scorpion both dead. Very sad. But we have the I don't know, the main event to go yet. We have the big guy.
Goro.
We have the beast incarnate.
Yeah, no, Goro's great, and he's just he fights some jobbers. You see him just murder some people. And,
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the
He has a match against that likable guy Artleen from earlier.
I forgot about that.
So you can sort of see what's going to happen here. There's a nice little bit where like Artleen's in the ring, he's warming up. He's like busting out some moves. Like the dude clearly knows martial arts, and then he just looks up and shit.
No.
What have I gotten myself in for?
I don't know if you've picked up that with wrestling fans, but that is Scotty Too Hottie Royal Rumble Kane and Undertaker in the ring expression.
Yeah. I'll pick that up now. That is the exact same expression. That's the you're fucked expression. But unfortunately,
and he murders him. He just straight up, like literally murders him.
Yeah. In fact, again, another line of they're fighting. He's lost horribly, and we get finish him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, bit of an anticlimax because
you can't do the fatalities.
Because the finish him is just essentially again wrestling fans is the Great Khali's chop, and it just kills Artlene. I mean, obviously, this isn't R, so you can't have really violent, but there is a little part of me that's just like, I'm currently being entertained by Mortal Kombat media. I've just heard the phrase finish him.
You wanted to follow with something that makes you feel sick as a human being.
Yeah, it feels weird not to have that.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an anticlimax.
Well, the Mortal Kombat, obviously the series that got the reboot, when they had the Rebirth trailer, and it was really brutal, and like Baraka was a serial killer, like that dark reimagining. Like when that got its series, that was pretty violent, and that's apparently going into a film, which is going to be pretty R-rated.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that's gonna pick up where this couldn't.
That makes sense. In any this is also Exhibit A, or the first one of Sonya Blade in the second half being a weirder character in the second one, because Artlene dies, gets straight up chopped, murdered, and Sonya has this weird scream of no, like anguish of how could he die? Pretty sure they haven't spoken two words to each other this entire movie.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, like Johnny Cage gets a bit of a god damn it, but it makes sense because like they talked earlier. He seemed like a nice guy, but like Liu Kang doesn't really react. Like it just seems weird to me that now suddenly Sonya's just it. It makes more sense, I feel like I'm being unnecessarily nitpicky here without you've got like scenes that we know are coming if you don't know the movie, but it's just a weird thing now that her character's like just completely different. Yeah. Because she had her arc. She wanted Kano, she fought Kano, she killed Kano, and then it was like the writers just didn't know what to do with her. Yeah. So they just turned her into someone else.
Why not just stick Kano at the end of the movie?
Yeah, it seems weird, but anyway, we got what I got.
Shang Tsung takes the guy's soul in a pretty poor CG scene.
Yeah.
As is the standard.
Yeah, we get a sort of an introspection scene with Raiden as he lays down the three mains like fears and said, why they'll be beaten. He's a little creepy with Sonya. Don't really need to get that close to tell her she's scared of things. Like he may as well just be sniffing her hair. My God, it's creepy. Like that is personal bubble. That is not cool. And then he tells Cage's fear, he tells Sonya's fear, and then he just walks off. And it's quite funny because Liu Kang's just like, hey, what am I scared of?
Just and then he's not aware.
Yeah. Just like runs after him, just like, what? Why am I not going to be able to beat him, sir? Please tell me. But we get that sort of you have to overcome your fears to be able to defeat Goro and win the Mortal Kombat. Then we get a sort of a weird again. This is again for Sonya. A weird scene with Cage and Sonya where it's like pretty much implied that Cage is saying, I'm gonna go fight Goro because I can't have him, fight you. It's like, well, there's been a bit of sort of stuff between them, but it has mainly Cage just being flirty, and Sonya being like, what the fuck you doing?
That's true. Again, true to the games though. They eventually do get married as well.
Yeah. I guess. Well, I mean, I suppose at this point there isn't much evidence of that, but it's in just the sphere of the movie. This has come out of a little bit of nowhere, and this is again proof that Sonya's character's going through a weird sort of arc.
Swerve.
Yeah. But Cage lays down the has a promo.
Lays down.
So I want the champ right now in the ring.
Shang Tsung. He's just gives that forearm git.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll humble him.
I'll fuck him up. Yeah. But Shang Tsung, being smart, gets a bit of a deal out of it. So I'll give you Goro, but at the end of the fight, I get the winner, or I get somebody from the winner's team in a fight in a destination by choosing. And Cage is like, right, done. And then Raiden walks in like, nah, wait, no, don't agree to that. And it's just like, right, sorry, deal's done, bye. And just Raiden.
And obviously, as we know from the rules of basic Mortal Kombat, they take their deals very seriously.
Yeah. Raiden's a bit of just like, fuck you think you're playing, Cage? Actually, there's a weird sort of like element where Raiden's like, what do you think you've done? And Cage is like, this is a fight for mortals. I'm taking this into my own hands. I don't need your approval anymore. And then walked away. And Raiden's like, finally, they're beginning to understand.
Yeah.
But it's like, but he has just fucked up. He had the right intention, but he fucked up. Like it's
stuff like that makes us hate Raiden in this. I just really don't. He doesn't gel with us like.
Yeah, but we get Goro Cage, and we get.
And it's brilliant.
Yeah. Well,
crushing the glasses. Great way to start it, because obviously they have a fight. Its general offense is going to Goro. Goro gets the ball and Cage gets the ball shot, which is for the win. Gives the line, those are $500 glasses, asshole. Off the cliff. It's beautiful.
Yeah. There's a brilliant bit. They're just looking at each other like, oh, what's going on? Boom! Right to the nuts. And then Cage having this plan that he's gonna like, cripple essentially, like really hurt Goro, and then runs away. Runs away to the edge of a cliff, and then kicks Goro off the cliff.
But not before the $500 glasses asshole. And he also had the line of, "This is the part where you fall down." Yeah,
that's a nice little callback. He plays smug asshole, just likable enough. Which is why I'm glad I actually went to him, because like we said in the Street Fighter, it was and I think he just.
And Jean-Claude Van Damme plays smug to the point where you don't like him.
Yeah, that is a problem. So I'm very happy for this. And then you get, once again, the weird character arc of Sonya, where, managed to beat Goro, and she's screaming for help. That's the thing I don't get.
It's out of nowhere as well.
Yeah.
Like you don't really see...
Why is she suddenly the damsel in distress?
You don't really see how he kidnaps her as well. Like,
it's
we're literally to assume he just kind of went up behind her and went...
Yeah. Like just...
Hey, got you.
Like just grabbed her neck, put one arm in what looks like a really, really bad hammerlock, and then just sort of slowly walks with her. It's like Sonya Blade, literally, yesterday in this movie, she straight up murdered a dude.
Like, I know Shang Tsung's a martial arts expert and all that, but like, she doesn't...
Yeah, she's not in fighting. Like, she's struggling a bit, but
she's
it's like, help,
don't do that. Don't do that.
I need big, strong men to come save me. Like, it's annoying. But the big, strong men go to save her. Liu Kang and Cage travel to Outland. Cool set design again. Quite
very,
again.
Very cool.
Again, like this. Like the atmosphere that they're setting up. But the important part to take away from this is that not Scorpion, Reptile. Reptile has been following them, but Liu Kang, being a martial art god, is just like, oh, invisible, nah mate, I see it, there you are.
Even though it's never had that in the rest of the movie. Like, there's the bit at the start when the reptile's like invisible and he's like, what is this? I seem to vaguely see some sort of shift in... Oh my god, my face!
Oh god. And it's just like and he's in the middle of nowhere, literally just wanders to the side near a building and then suddenly gets him. It's a weird one. But in keeping with this whole scene being weird, he chucks Reptile onto like a downed statue. The statue then like wraps around him, forces him inside the statue, and then turns him human.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain that.
But then Reptile's in a human form.
but I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
like as long as I get Reptile properly.
Yeah, they have a really cool fight. Like it's again like two martial artists who know what they're doing. So you have good camera work, you have smooth choreography, you good editing as well. Good use of props actually. There's a nice little thing where Liu Kang like spins around on I don't know what it is. I think it exists there just to be a spinny thing that Liu Kang can do that. But then it like comes around, kicks him off of it, and this time, thank you Liu Kang, you hero. I get my goddamn Hurricane Runner. I'm very 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 happy with that. And of course to end the fight, we get the bicycle kick.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's glorious. It looks silly in live action, but I don't care.
No.
It can look as stupid as it wants. I want that shit.
Yeah.
And I want it in them, and it's got to happen. It's
cool. But again, another great fight scene. You know, we'll let as much as this play out as we can because it's just cool to watch. It's like we say, it's two martial artists good at martial arts getting to do martial arts.
Yeah.
Like shockingly,
I mean,
this was enjoyable.
Don't get us wrong. It's not the raid, but it's loads of fun.
You know,
it's just. I just love this movie. I'm a pure guilty pleasure, but I adore it.
My favourite thing, in fact, about this entire scene is that after Liu Kang like wins and goes back outside, like you meet up with Katana's there, and they're gonna lead them.
She's looking smouldering as well.
Smouldering,
she's very leaning on the one side,
Yeah.
like she looks like she's in belongs in like a Lionel Richie
exactly.
music video.
Yeah, but my favourite thing of that entire scene is that because then Katana leads Liu Kang away, and it's Katana explaining her backstory and motivation about why we as an audience and them two as characters should trust her. And Johnny Cage is there as well. So presumably for that entire reptile fight, Cage was just chilling. just reptiles.
I didn't even think of that.
Just reptiles just in there. It's just that's
Liu Kang's got this.
He's got this.
He's got this.
Yeah, he's fine.
Go on, Liu.
Hey Katana, how you doing? But we get Katana's backstory. The world that we're currently in was like one where Katana lived. It's one that lost 10 Mortal Kombat tournaments in a row, and the Emperor came through and destroyed the place.
I see that I always took issue with that because why do they want to? Like, I get if they want to take over somewhere, but like, why isn't this populated with all his people and like really prosperous and rich because of all the resources they've taken from it by force?
It's a weird one. We don't.
But it's just typical villain of like destroy the world. It's like you live in the world. Use it for your own good.
What else am I going to do on a Tuesday? We cut to Sonya.
Literally chained up.
In a dress now as well with a different hairstyle. Like, for fuck's sake.
It's like it reminds us of sort of like women in from like Conan. Like the sort of in the bikini, like tied up. Oh, save me, Conan! That kind of thing.
It's like, she's there now just to be saved. There's a fun little scene where it's just you should fight me in Mortal Kombat so I get my 10th win. I'm not fucking doing that.
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody else. My friends will come to save me. Your friends aren't coming. We're already here. Boom. Hood comes off. Johnny Cage.
That's
what's
it
going on?
makes no sense how they snuck in with the cult members, but who cares? It's awesome.
It's a fun.
And I like that he does his Jean-Claude Van Damme as well, in that he waits to
Yeah.
reveal himself, like perfect moment. But it was literally possible that Shang Tsung might have just not said anything. And just picked up a knife and slit her throat before he gets to like. He's still there under the hood waiting. He's like, he's gonna say your friends aren't coming. Gonna say your friends aren't coming.
Yeah. There's a lovely bit where Katana like shouts him down and is like, how dare you do that? You know that Mortal Kombat cannot be won like by treachery. So fight one-on-one. So it's like, right, all right. I'll take Cage. Liu Kang's having none of it.
Fight me IRL, mate.
Yeah.
Fight me IRL.
Yeah. It's just like, right, fine. I'll do Mortal Kombat right. Cage, me and you. Liu Kang. Now, mate. Let me take this hood off.
Shang Tsung's played very crafty. It's good.
He's really good. Like, he's my favourite thing about this movie. But yeah,
Liu Kang as well. When his shirt comes off, he means business. Like, he had his shirt off in the earlier scene, but when his shirt comes off then, I feel it.
Yeah.
I wasn't gay for him before, but now I kind of am.
I can appreciate that.
Those pecs are ready to pound.
I know. I mean, when he had his shout down saying, you know, you will face me and I challenge you in Mortal Kombat. Like I got some goosebumps.
Chills.
I mean, I was watching the film with a room that had an open window, but it was definitely
it wasn't the cold.
Yeah.
I love how slowly Shang Tsung takes his coat off. It's a little thing, but it's again they really know how to do entrances and stuff.
I like to imagine that he really gets his character in this as well. He just seems to do, just from like the outset with the audition story.
Stunning with that dragon on the floor.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's so good. And then the phenomenal. Well, of course, you couldn't have this fight start any other way. Mortal Kombat.
It's great.
It's on now.
And it's a good fight.
Yeah, good fight. Like this is what I consider to be round one.
They're literally breaking into rounds.
Yeah. I consider this to be round one. It is good. That this to me is my favorite scene still in the film as fights go is Cage Scorpion.
Yeah.
But these two clearly know their stuff.
Yeah, it's a close second.
Like they don't unfortunately get enough time before story gets in the way. But
I think it would be better if Scorpion just wasn't a more interesting character in the second. Like it's more fun to see Scorpion fight.
Yeah, that's fair. But Liu Kang gets the first round essentially by
giving him a bloody lip.
Give him a bloody lip. So
you made me bleed my own blood.
So it's like, right, well, fuck this then. I'm just summoning my minions to kill you. Just a quick aside again. Katana, what was that about? Mortal Kombat cannot be won by treachery. This seems like treachery.
I'm gonna defend it. I shouldn't because it's bullshit. I'm gonna defend it. Arguably one of Shang Tsung's powers. So arguably within the context of the fight, he's just using a skill he possesses.
Maybe, but it's bullshit. But that's a sort of answer. But it doesn't really matter because all the goons very kindly all attack Liu Kang one at a time, so he easily dispatches them all. But I do quite like the different designs of all the goons. Like there's one in like full like samurai armor.
I'm glad they're not just the ones from before.
Yeah. Like it's quite fun. Like they've all got different weapons and they all clearly know how to use them. And it's a good fight. It's Liu Kang just beating them all before we get to round 3 in the actual next one-on-one fight. But it's good. I like it. So round 3, all the bodies are just around on the floor. Liu Kang, didn't get touched, looking like a badass because of course he is.
Yep.
Bit of a showdown.
That shot there when Shang Tsung stood in the smoke, like the fog behind him, and he just stood over it. Really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Like
I definitely agree with that.
The way they used fog there, like it's just excellent. Like it almost looks like a shot from like Alien, not friggin' Mortal Kombat.
I can see that. Yeah. In the fight with the goons, Chang went up to the top. Liu Kang's having none of it. Runs up the stairs. But there's a bit. Now he's playing manipulative games. None of this face him more. Turn and face me. Yeah, so he morphs into his little brother Chan.
I hate this trope. Hate it.
Tries to mess with him,
especially when you've just seen like Liu Kang's just seen Shang turn into his little brother. Like I get it's supposed to be but the thought of seeing your little brother again, he knows it's fake, but it just touches him so, and he doesn't know how to take it, and he can manipulate it because he's it's like, you let me die, Lou, you let me die.
He's subtle about this. This isn't like subtle manipulation. It's just he literally says the words, "You let me die."
Yeah, and it's just like no. Like I know like they do it in zombie movies all the time, like. But it's me mom. It's like clearly not anymore. I hate that trope of like just the family member, being you have to kill them, but it's not really them, because in real life, like presuming you're capable of killing, you just fucking kick him into the spikes. I mean, I know he does eventually, but it takes too long.
It takes a little while. Although one thing that does make the scene have like a bit more urgency to it and a bit more watchable is that as it's going on, there are spikes raising from the floor, and only the sort of
Mortal Kombat dragon.
It's quite cool. So you have this idea,
clear homage to the famous pit level as well, which was the first level that had a stage fatality in Mortal Kombat 1.
But yeah, there's a bit of urgency in it where you're thinking like, okay, Liu Kang, hurry up and just say, no, you're clearly not Chan, I'm just going to go back to punching you before he throws you onto the goddamn spikes. But then, of course, it doesn't work. Liu Kang calls him on his bullshit, transforms back, and they have round 3. And it's competent. It's all just leading up to the villain's death, really. So, villain gets
it's more a dramatic one than an action one.
It's a dramatic.
There's lots of speaking in it.
Yeah, it's more of a story fight than an actual fight.
Obviously, Liu Kang just overcomes all odds.
Yeah. Although actually, something I found fun with this, like I know presumably it was like magic that helped raise the spikes up, but I like to imagine they're just on a timer.
Yeah.
Like that would have happened if they were there or not.
The fun thing is as well, you can't do a stage fatality till it's like final round potential.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah,
I like to imagine,
at least in the original ones. Like, no. You might have been able to. I'm not sure. It depends on the version, I think.
But I really like to imagine that the reason that he summoned all the goons and stuff was just like, I don't want to throw him on those spikes. I need to drag this out a bit. It's damn it! Why did I not schedule this fight 5 minutes later? It's the only reason he turned into his little brother, just to be like, I need to drag it out more.
Yeah. Shang Tsung's stolen souls all leave him. As well,
it's pretty cool. It's coming out of his face, and they have a final sort of charge down, as it were. But just Liu Kang's having none of it. Just kicks, punches, and just slowly beats him back closer to the edge. And we get our second sort of Mortal Kombat signature of Liu Kang. The first one being the bicycle kick, and the second one being
the dragon fire, which I always thought was his most boring move. But it's cool they got it in.
They got the little reference in, little nod. It would have been disappointing if at that point he'd just like push kicked him in or something.
Do you know what? I wouldn't have went dragon fire. I'd have went uppercut. The one that all the fighters do down and white Y or down in triangle
to get them out, like,
that uppercut, because that's the uppercut that initiates the stage fatality into the pit.
Actually that would have been cool.
That's how I would have went for it.
Yeah, well, both work. I think actually on reflection yours would have been cooler, but it looked good. We also have it's slight annoyance for me, Liu Kang just killed him, whispers to himself, flawless victory. Wasn't flawless, Lou.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of it. You got your ass handed to me.
They're very liberal.
Yeah.
With the flawless victory definition in this film.
Yeah, they do that. They do that a lot. They get it wrong, which is frustrating. There's 2 instances of flawless victory in this, and it's none of the ones where the bloody characters say it.
Yeah, he sees his brother because the brother's soul escapes. His brother walks in the light. You get them all gone. Question.
It's a relatively touching scene.
Question. One I've only just thought of.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Why does he kill Liu Kang's brother? Like, I get he's evil, but that was like seeked out.
Yeah, I don't think it's actually ever explained why they ended up dying. I mean, was it
because he doesn't kill any of the other monks? They're all still there.
Well, maybe some of the other monks died,
and you just don't see them.
But you just don't see them. I mean, maybe it was some sort of like big attack, like it was on a rampage, and just. I mean. Yeah, I don't know.
Because literally the only thing you see of the death, and it possibly didn't even play out like that, because its dream sequence isn't just braying the shit out of the little brother in an undisclosed location.
Yeah.
That seems planned.
Yeah, you learn later that, I think anyway, if I'm interpreting this correctly, that from quite a young age, Liu Kang ran off to America for like years and years at a time, and then came back, I think, after he'd learned about his brother's death. Like, that's how I've interpreted it. So you don't know how his brother died. Like, it might have been some sort of mass killing thing that happened to a load of other monks. But like, if that was the case as well, like it would have happened quite soon, like before Liu Kang came back. But none of the other monks were.
You think
like,
the monks
grieving.
would mention it as well?
Yeah.
Like, so how did my brother die? Oh, thousands died. Your brother wasn't the only one. It's like, it's a horrible thing. You like, not just like, oh yeah, dude showed up, killed your brother, and then left.
Maybe we've missed something, but I can't remember ever hearing about how he died. But yeah, it's a good question. But we get some. Well, Liu Kang gets some closure. It's quite a touching scene, really. Hampered slightly by the fact that by the ghosts in the background, I couldn't help thinking that they were all stuck doing the YMCA and just couldn't get over the first letter. I don't know why, but I just saw them, and they're probably like floating or swimming, but in my head I was just like, there's 3 letters after that, mate. I just burst out laughing at that scene. Yes, the heroes have prevailed.
Yeah, from this point on, it's just kind of like
there's pretty much nothing. There's pretty much nothing left.
While, but...
We just the next bit that's important is that we teleport back to the Shaolin monastery with a bunch of children celebrating the win. Liu Kang and Katana kind of hand in hand, Cage and Sonya hand in hand, because you have to fucking pair up all. You can't just have platonic relationships in Hollywood.
You have Midsummer Night's Dream.
It's really crappy. But like, so just quickly before we get on to the next part of this scene, because this first part bugs me. Why have they not changed clothes? Like, surely they're back in Earthrealm now. That was a long journey. Like, that's a long journey, and like, if I was Sonya, I wouldn't want to be in the same sort of clothes.
She's not in the same clothes.
She's not in the exact same clothes, but she's in the ones that's just as worse. They're like, where is a Sonya from the first half of the movie? Why is she in like just a big dress? Like Liu Kang, you had a couple of fights to the death in those clothes. Like, at least have a fucking shower.
They are tainted with death. Like,
and then we get the finish.
Sequel bit.
I hate this so much because the Emperor turns up, and has a bit of a I'm coming for you now, Earthrealm. Okay.
It makes the whole movie pointless. Like, I get it setting up for a sequel, but it makes his victory meaningless.
Yeah, so the Emperor's there, despite the fact his team lost Mortal Kombat and their, tally reset to 0, so he couldn't get to Earth. Like, that's the only way I can justify this. They're still in Outland.
And we know they're not as well, because Mortal Kombat 2 happens and it starts in Earthrealm.
It starts here and it starts in Earthrealm,
and it starts at the end of the
movie.
film.
So I really think this was a dumb way to finish it, because it really detracts from the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, because in these seconds, you have literally ruined the entire premise of your movie. Like, all the stakes.
Shao Kahn looks fucking stupid as well.
Yeah, that as well.
He looks awful.
It's really dumb. But then the music plays and the
pause is cool, kind of cool.
And the kind of cool. And then the credits roll.
So, what do you think?
Overall, I would definitely put this as I was about to say I'd put this with the others, and I was like, other. The other, I would put this in the camp of good video game. Like, it's
not good movie or good video game adaptation.
Yeah, good video game adaptation. Everything. Whenever we're saying like great, whenever we're throwing words out, because obviously
whenever we say something splendid, we mean it's a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. like I went on a bit of a I don't know, a positive rant, I suppose, last episode on Street Fighter 2 animated movie about like some of its stuff. I like throw out words like fantastic, excellent, phenomenal. Everything that we say is relative.
Yeah, completely relative.
Yeah, like I will throw out, like if I throw out the phrase like this is the best movie like I've seen in this series, that is a 6 out of 10. Like that's like if I'm throwing out things like phenomenal, it's above average. Like that's the sort of stuff we're saying. So just to make sure we get that in perspective.
But yeah, no, I would say,
definitely put this in the
good
camp.
I'd say it's good. Like I'd say it's a pretty. I'd say this and Street Fighter 2 are pretty good. Like good, decent movies.
Yeah.
Outstanding by video game standards.
Definitely that's far as well. Like in fact, I think that's a good comparison. Like I like this movie and dislike it, in fact, for like very similar reasons as to Street Fighter 2, the animated movie. Because I mean, there's much like Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, it's a pretty poor plot. Like the plot ultimately is pretty unimportant. It's like kind of as simple as you can get.
It's a vehicle. For what you want to say.
There's some clunky ass dialogue.
Oh god, yes.
There's the acting fluctuates massively.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some outstanding. Well, you've got some actually quite outstanding.
Performances. I would say the performances sometimes are pretty damn good, even by any other film standard.
You've also got some pretty bad ones that really drag it down. But then you've got like the sort of good parts of it. Like you've got a great atmosphere. Absolutely adore the sort of set design and the stuff they're going for. Apart from, like we pointed out, a couple of bland fight locations, like just beach and turned up like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
But you've got some good atmosphere. The fights are competent. The directing on the fights that there's like 2 competent martial artists in are like great. I really like them. The choreography is good. The fights when they're good are good. And Cage Scorpion like steals the show. Like it's really good. The much like as well as the sets, the stuff in the sets, like the production design, that's really good as well. And soundtrack is well used. Like I love the Mortal Kombat coming out.
That's just iconic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the thing. This is why I would say this falls into the camp of good movie. Like even by other movie standards, it's because as bad as some of it is, and some of it's very, very bad.
Yeah.
There are moments in this that are iconic. Like I was watching a tribute to fight scenes the other day, and Scorpion, Cage was in it. You know what I mean?
Wow, okay.
Like it was like all these really iconic, amazing, huge fight scenes, stuff from like Scorsese Productions and that, and then just Scorpion Cage in the middle of it.
Nice.
And it's not the first time I've seen stuff like that. Like it'll be referenced a couple of times in like top 10 fight lists. Like nothing official, but generally it's regarded pretty well. And obviously the soundtrack went on to go platinum. Like there's some good stuff, real good stuff in this movie. And that's why I think it falls into the camp of good. Like a lot of people say it's bad. It holds like 33% or something.
Something like that.
Metacritic, I can't remember. You've got quite a few internet reviewers like really rip into it. I'm biased. I'll admit it. I love it. A bit. It's so good. I just even the stuff that's not good, I just love. It's got a real warm nostalgia for me, so I'm incredibly biased on it. I'm very, very, very much a fan of this movie.
Yeah, I think it sort of sets out, like, because it sets a kind of tone quite early on. It's gonna get, well, I'm not gonna say like dark, like lightning dark maybe, but it sets an atmosphere quite often. It's gonna be quite cheesy. It's gonna be quite. Don't go in this if you're expecting more Mortal Kombat the game. Quite frankly, it's like almost a bad adaptation in that regard, because it's not really like the games. Like the characters are kind of on point for.
It's more like the games than say Street Fighter.
It's
more or Mario Brothers.
But there's certainly it's a very loose adaptation. I would, well, not very loose. That would be like other ones, but it's a loose adaptation. I think it
is a PG-13 Mortal Kombat.
That's what it is.
It's not loose, but it's PG-13. But it's PG-13 on a game defined by its violence. So you would not watch a PG-13 Manhunt.
So it's a bit of a weird sort of contrast there. But if you don't immediately scoff and hang your head at the idea of like a PG-13 Mortal Kombat, and you know what Mortal Kombat is, I think you'll find enjoyment here.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's pretty much like how I would try to recommend this to somebody. I would say, do you know Mortal Kombat? It'd be imagine one of those little flowcharts. Do you know Mortal Kombat? No. All right.
Get a miss.
Netflix. Yes. What is your opinion on PG-13 Mortal Kombat? That sounds like the worst idea ever. Well, Netflix is for you. I could get into that. Watch this movie. You'll find something to enjoy, I'm sure. There's a bit of tongue-in-cheek cheesiness to it, but like I personally find that a bit endearing. I sort of like that element of it.
I love it.
I mean, maybe by this point, our standards are so low because of some of the other movies we've said that the fact we've had a good live action one that we're maybe I'm overestimating this, but quite enjoy this.
Obviously both opinions pretty strong on that one. Would you rank it?
That's the interest. That's the difficult one, because I would, because at this point it is a contest in my head whether this is at number 1 or number 2. I would say, like, I probably had, like, I had more fun with Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, but this is a better movie because it's
self-contained.
Yeah, it's self-contained. Like, you don't have to go in with a load of knowledge.
For me, like, so you couldn't watch Street Fighter if you weren't a fan of Street Fighter. You can't watch Mortal Kombat.
So having a bit of an internal dilemma about that. I think after a bit of reflection on it, and with some of the worst elements of sort of Street Fighter 2, and the fact that I just think, with live action, you have considerably less to work with. I mean, like, I don't want to take away from anything with the animation, but the fact that they had really amazing fight scenes, like, isn't that surprising, because you have animation, you can do whatever you want. So I'm personally, I'm sticking this at number 1.
Get in. I don't have to edit 2 separate lists from it, because it's also my number 1.
Yeah.
Right. And on that glorious note for me, Here's the rankings as they currently stand. We're making our way into them now. What's next? Well, we're not done with Mortal Kombat yet.
We got another double bill of a fighter.
They really loved adapting fighters for a long period of time.
We've had a weird sort of mirror image where we've won bad Street Fighter, good Street Fighter, and now we're going good Mortal Kombat, bad Mortal Kombat.
And my God,
well,
it's a bad one.
Yeah, at least that's what I've been told.
So you've got that to look forward to. I've seen it, Jamie. You've not seen it yet.
Not yet.
I think you watched the intro and were like, God.
Yeah. I watched the first 4 minutes and said fuck this movie 7 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
let's go into that one.
Yeah.
Here's the rankings as they stand. Who knows what they'll be next week?
Yeah.
Well, I know what they'll be next week. Let's look forward to when we review Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
And we'll see you next time.
Later, guys.
See ya.
I thought that was really good, that one.